Have you ever felt like you're living with a ghost? You're in the same room, you're eating at the same table, but there's this invisible wall between you that neither of you wants to acknowledge. You think that by staying silent, you're keeping the peace. But the truth is that silence isn't peaceful. It's a slow-motion car crash. Today we're talking about the one conversation you're terrified to have, and why it's the only thing that can save your relationship. In relationships, the most dangerous threat isn't always loud arguments or dramatic confrontations. It's often the avoided conversation, the words left unspoken, and the feelings we quietly tuck away. While shouting matches and heated debates might seem like the obvious signs of trouble, there's a far more subtle, insidious danger lurking beneath the surface. It's the silence that settles in when we choose not to address what's really on our minds, the moments when we look away instead of reaching out, and the times we pretend everything is fine just to keep the peace. This quiet killer hides in silence, slowly eroding connection by feeding on what's left unsaid. It thrives in the spaces between words, growing stronger with every unresolved issue and every emotion we suppress. Over time, this silence becomes a barrier, making it harder and harder to reach across and truly connect. The longer we let it linger, the more it chips away at the foundation of trust and intimacy that relationships are built on. We often think explosive fights are the biggest risk, but it's the moments when we bury our feelings that truly damage intimacy. When we avoid difficult conversations, we're not just sidestepping conflict, we're also missing opportunities to understand each other better, to grow together, and to heal old wounds. The silence may feel safer in the moment, but it comes at the cost of genuine closeness. Each unspoken issue quietly widens the gap between partners, turning minor discomfort into lasting distance. What starts as a small misunderstanding or a hurt feeling can, over time, become a wall that feels impossible to break down. The more we avoid, the more isolated we become, even when we're sitting right next to each other. Emotional distance grows, and the warmth that once defined the relationship slowly fades away. Avoided conversations aren't just small lapses, they're missed chances for growth and understanding. Every time we choose silence over honesty, we lose an opportunity to learn about our partner's needs, fears, and dreams. We miss the chance to show that we care enough to listen, even when it's uncomfortable. Over time, these missed moments add up, leaving both partners feeling unseen and unheard. Facing the quiet killer takes courage and a willingness to be vulnerable, but the rewards of honesty far outweigh the discomfort. Opening up about our true feelings can be scary, but it's the only way to bridge the gap that silence creates. When we choose to speak up, to listen, and to share, even when it's hard, we invite deeper understanding and connection into our relationships. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it's the foundation of trust and intimacy. Only by confronting this silent threat can we build stronger, more authentic relationships. When we break the silence and choose honesty, we create space for healing, growth, and genuine closeness. The path may not always be easy, but it leads to a love that is resilient, open, and truly connected. Picture a home where silence isn't peaceful, it's suffocating. This is the reality of a relationship Cold War, where every word is measured to avoid conflict. Walking on eggshells means living in constant tension, always anticipating the next explosion. Partners retreat into themselves, avoiding real conversation and deepening the divide. Breaking this cycle requires recognizing avoidance and choosing to engage, even when it's uncomfortable. With open communication, a home can transform from a battleground into a sanctuary of support. When we think about what drives people apart in relationships, we often blame the obvious: arguments, disagreements, or even betrayals. But the truth is, the deepest rifts rarely come from the fights we remember. Instead, they're born from the quiet moments, the silences that stretch on, and the words that remain unspoken. It's not the heated debates or the loud confrontations that create the most lasting distance between two people. It's the things we hold back, the feelings we swallow, and the truths we're too afraid to share. Every time we hesitate to speak our minds, every time we choose silence over honesty, we add another invisible brick to the wall between us. The words we never say, our fears, our disappointments, our hopes linger in the air, creating a quiet tension that's hard to shake. Over time, these unsaid things become heavy, weighing down our connection and making it harder to reach each other. Avoided conversations don't just disappear. Instead, They quietly build walls, brick by brick, making the distance between partners grow with each passing day. What starts as a small crack, a minor misunderstanding, or a moment of discomfort, can slowly widen into a chasm if left unaddressed. The longer we avoid talking about what truly matters, the more isolated we feel, even when we're sitting right next to each other. We often avoid tough talks because we want to keep the peace, fearing that honesty might lead to conflict or hurt feelings. But this avoidance doesn't make problems go away, it just lets them simmer beneath the surface. The tension grows, and what could have been a simple conversation becomes a source of anxiety and stress. We start to second-guess ourselves, wondering if it's even worth bringing things up anymore. Suppressed emotions don't stay hidden forever. They show up in subtle ways: resentment, withdrawal, or a sense of emotional numbness. We might find ourselves pulling away, feeling disconnected, or even questioning the strength of our relationship. The more we bottle up, the more distant we become, until our connection feels shallow and unsatisfying. The solution isn't to avoid conflict at all costs, but to create a safe space for honest dialogue. When both partners feel secure enough to share their true thoughts and feelings, without fear of judgment or retaliation, real understanding can begin. It's about listening with empathy, speaking with kindness, and being willing to face uncomfortable truths together. Prioritizing open communication helps dismantle the barriers that have built up over time. It allows trust to be rebuilt, misunderstandings to be cleared, and emotional intimacy to grow. When we choose to talk, to really listen, and to show up for each other, we begin to heal the distance that once seemed insurmountable. Openness is the key to bridging the gap and restoring real connection. By making space for vulnerability and honest conversation, we give our relationships the chance to thrive, turning silence into understanding and distance into closeness. Avoiding tough conversations is usually rooted in fear of conflict, unpleasant truths, or vulnerability. This fear can be subtle, creeping in quietly and influencing our choices before we even realize it. Sometimes, it's the fear of saying the wrong thing, of making things worse, or of being misunderstood. Other times, it's the dread of exposing our true feelings, worried that honesty might push someone away or change a relationship forever. These fears are powerful, shaping the way we communicate and the way we connect with others. Many of us are taught to see conflict as negative, missing the growth that can come from facing issues directly. From a young age, we might learn to keep the peace at all costs, to avoid rocking the boat, or to suppress our own needs for the sake of harmony. But when we avoid conflict, we also avoid the chance to understand each other more deeply. We miss out on opportunities to clarify misunderstandings, to express our needs, and to build stronger, more resilient relationships. Conflict, when handled with care, can actually bring people closer together. Sometimes, we'd rather stay in denial than risk hearing something painful. Denial can feel like a safe haven, a way to protect ourselves from hurtful truths or uncomfortable realities. But over time, this avoidance can lead to anxiety, loneliness, and a sense of disconnection from those we care about. The longer we avoid, the heavier the silence becomes, and the more difficult it is to break through. The fear of being judged or rejected keeps us silent, but this only blocks true intimacy. When we hold back our thoughts and feelings, we create distance between ourselves and others. We might think we're protecting ourselves, but in reality we're building walls that keep us isolated. True connection requires honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. It's in those vulnerable moments that trust is built and relationships deepen. Overcoming avoidance means seeing vulnerability as strength and conflict as an opportunity. It means recognizing that being open about our fears, needs, and mistakes is not a weakness, but a courageous step toward growth. When we choose to face discomfort head-on, we give ourselves and others the chance to heal, to understand, and to move forward together. Reframing these moments as chances for growth helps break down walls of fear. Each difficult conversation is an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and those around us. It's a chance to practice empathy, to listen deeply, and to show up authentically. With each step, we become more comfortable with discomfort, and more confident in our ability to handle whatever comes our way. Embracing discomfort is the first step toward positive change. When we find the courage to speak up, to listen, and to stay present even when it's hard, we open the door to deeper understanding and stronger connections. The silence may feel safe, but it's only by moving through our fears that we truly grow. Avoiding difficult conversations slowly corrodes trust and intimacy, turning relationships into mere coexistence. Resentment grows when issues are left unspoken, coloring every interaction and widening the divide. Partners may end up living parallel lives, sharing space, but not true connection. Emotional withdrawal and apathy become the norm, making genuine intimacy feel out of reach. To stop the quiet killer, prioritize open communication and address issues as they arise. Facing challenges together strengthens the bond and builds a more resilient relationship. Intimacy is often the first casualty when partners avoid tough conversations. Resentment simmers, leading to passive-aggressive behavior and emotional distance. Living parallel lives means sharing a home but not a true partnership. Loneliness can set in even when together. Rebuilding intimacy requires breaking the cycle of avoidance and creating space for honest dialogue. When both partners feel safe to share, real connection can begin to heal. Prioritizing communication is the path to a deeper, more meaningful relationship. Tackling the quiet killer takes more than courage. It takes the right approach. Enter tough conversations with the intent to understand, not to blame. Choose the right time and place. Avoid high-stress moments and distractions. Use I statements to express your feelings without making your partner defensive. For example, say, "I feel hurt when," instead of "you always." These strategies turn difficult talks into opportunities for growth and connection. A proactive approach not only solves problems, but also strengthens the relationship's foundation. Honesty isn't just about truth-telling, it's about building connection through vulnerability. Openness lets partners truly see and support each other, deepening intimacy. Self-awareness is the first step. Know your feelings and patterns of avoidance. Sharing your true self invites your partner to do the same, creating a stronger bond. Honesty unlocks empathy, trust, and a more resilient partnership. By embracing honesty, couples create relationships that are both lasting and deeply fulfilling. Every relationship is unique, and the journey to deeper connection is personal. We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and strategies for open communication in the comments below. Your insights help others and shape future discussions on building healthier relationships. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and share this video with friends who might benefit. Let's keep the conversation going and learn from each other's journeys.